Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. If you are new around here, my name's Katie and I am an English Lit and Philosophy student currently studying at Cardiff University. If you are new, please do hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to me. But let's get on into the video. So today I want to talk to you about university accommodation in first year. I have a bit of experience with this. I am now at the end of my second year, so I've had two types of accommodation now, both university halls and a privately owned house. But today we're just focusing on what you should be thinking about when you're applying for your first year accommodation. These points are relevant to all universities, not just Cardiff, so even if you're not coming to Cardiff, then please do continue watching. If you are coming to Cardiff and you want some more specific answers, then please don't hesitate to comment down below or send me a message on Twitter or Instagram. Both of those are in the little description box down here, and it would mean the world if you followed me on those as well. Yeah, so I've made myself a little list of things that you should be thinking about when you're applying for your accommodation. So most universities have lots of different forms of accommodation, halls mainly, but different kinds of halls, different levels of halls, and then you also do have private accommodation, which are private halls or houses that you can also go into. Personally, I don't know that much about private halls. They are more expensive. I've been in one of my friends last year, and I mean, it was far nicer than my university halls were, but it was far more expensive, but it looked like a hotel, so you've got to weigh that up. But the things you should be thinking about, I think one of the most important things is location. Is it close to your university, the halls you're looking at? Is it in walking distance? Because if you're getting up 20 minutes before your lecture, you want it to be like 10 minutes away. I think it's really important to think about where your halls is. My halls personally was like a 20-minute walk from my university, and I mean, it was okay and it was fine because I was in the largest university halls, so pretty much all of my friends from my course were up where I was, but it was kind of a bit of a walk. So you want to think about where it is in relation to your lectures. Also want to think about where it is in relation to local amenities. So personally, I live in a city, so my halls was a half an hour away from the centre of town. So you might want to live closer to town. There are halls that are closer, like literally there are some university halls that are literally like 2-minute walk from town. So that's another thing to think about in terms of location. Also, is it close to a supermarket? Even if it's just a little like Tesco Metro, you kind of need to be close to a supermarket, because if your milk's gone off and you want cereal, you want to be like 5-10 minutes walk away from a supermarket where you can quickly go and get the ingredients you need. That, you know, you don't want to be having to get a bus to the supermarket, you don't want it to be a trek, you just want it to be easy and simple, especially in your first year. I don't know, it just makes it easier if you're close to a supermarket. Another important thing is thinking about the style of living you want. And I'm sure everyone will tell you, different halls have different personality types, they have different halls have different reputations, that's the way to say it. And I know it sounds like rubbish that halls would have like a reputation, but they are normally true. So at Cardiff there's the whole Tally complex, and it goes from Tally Court, Tally South, Tally North, Tally Gate. Tally South, which is where I was, is kind of the more like social. It's the largest part of university halls, it's the largest university halls that Cardiff has, I believe. And it was far more social. Like, there was pretty much a prees in your house every night. It didn't need to be in your flat, but there'd probably be a prees somewhere. Whereas Tally Gate was really, really far away from uni, and I think it was a bit more quiet. I've never actually met anyone who was in Tally Gate. But yeah, different halls have different personality types, and you can only really find this out by researching it. Go on university like forum websites, Google what is X accommodation like at X university, because you want to find one that's going to suit your personal like lifestyle. Another big thing is whether you want an ensuite or a shared bathroom. Personally, I wanted an ensuite. If you've seen one of my other videos, I actually suffer from a health condition that means I vomit a lot, so I didn't want to be having a shared bathroom where I'm having to get people off the loo so that I can vomit, because I just wouldn't have the time. That's a whole other story, but like, yeah, personal health problems, you might want your own ensuite. It does make university halls a little bit more expensive, but if you're not prepared to share a bathroom with the rest of your flat, then definitely go for an ensuite. Having a shared bathroom, I think if you don't have like any problems, then it's fine, but yeah, definitely, I personally would recommend an ensuite. It just means you have your own space a bit more. I personally quite like it, and it means you can leave all of your crap in the bathroom, which I love. I don't like having to move my stuff, which my housemates currently probably know because I just leave my stuff in the shower. As I kind of mentioned, is cost. Different halls are going to cost different things because they have different sized kitchens, different amenities, different sized bedrooms, different sized beds. Personally, I went for like the middle ground, so I had an ensuite, but I was in a flat of 8 people and my room wasn't massive, but then you could have, and also our kitchen didn't have like any sofas or anything. There wasn't a social space, that was just a kitchen, whereas some of the more expensive ones had like a living room and a TV as well as the kitchen, so that's something to think about. Talking of kitchens, some halls can be catered, so if you don't think that you'll be able to feed yourself well enough, then you might want to go for a catered hall where you pay them to feed you. And I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but I think different meal plans are different, so I think you'll have a small kitchenette in your flat still, so you can still cook some of your meals yourself, but you'll have like 2 meals a day provided in like the dining hall or something. So that's another thing to think about. Another thing that personally I didn't really think I needed to think about, but someone asked me a question the other day, is whether you want to be in a mixed gender flat or in a single sex flat. Personally, I didn't have any question about it. I wanted to be in a mixed gender flat, but I know some people feel more comfortable if they're just with, you know, girls or boys depending on their gender. So that's another thing that you can put on your application and choose about, and that's again like a personal preference thing, but it is something to think about. Another thing is different types of halls have different numbers of people in flats. So I think my halls had the most number of people in a flat. There might have been some that were a little bit bigger, but I personally had 8 people in my flat last year, whereas some of the other halls would be like flats of 4 people. So it just depends how many people you're comfortable with living with and sharing a space with. But yeah, definitely research how many people are in each of the flats in the halls that you're putting down on your choice form, because I think living with 4 people and living with 8 people is a completely different thing. Another thing to think about is the amount of storage space in the bedrooms. So personally, I had loads of storage space in my room last year. Like, the room was small, but they really utilised the space. Like, there was loads of shelves, drawers, under bed space, a wardrobe. There was just, and there was loads of, there was too much storage in the kitchen, which was great because it meant no one had to fight for space in the kitchen. So that's another thing to think about, is just look at pictures of it, or like Google people's room tours on here. Like, that's a great way to find out storage and what halls actually look like when people are living in them. Yeah, I think that's everything I've written down of what you should think about when you're applying for university accommodation. I hope this helped in some way, and I will see you in my next video. As I said before, please don't forget to subscribe as well, because it would mean the world to me. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The links are in the description box down below, and please don't hesitate to message me on either of those as well if you do have any questions.